Okay, so for part 2, you are going to be creating 3 different graphs using the data you collected in part 1. Your first graph will be altitude versus temperature. Your second graph will be altitude versus pressure. And then the third graph is altitude versus density. So I'm going to go back to my data table. And just be aware, this is not the correct data. I randomly put in data. This is not what you will get when you use the simulation, so don't try and copy this, otherwise you are going to be doing the entire assignment inaccurately. So to create our first graph, what we need to do is only highlight the data that we want to use, which is our altitude column and our temperature column. So to highlight different columns in your data table, you need to do one of two things. If you're using your Chromebook, you're going to hold down the control button as you highlight. If you're using a like Apple computer, you're going to hold down the command key. So I'm going to hold down my control button, and then I'm going to highlight exactly what I want. So I'm going to highlight only my altitude column, and then only my temperature Fahrenheit column. Do not do temperature Celsius. So as you can see, I only have those two columns highlighted right now. And then what I'm going to do is click Insert, Chart, and you should automatically see a line graph generated. If you are seeing a bar graph generated, you did something incorrectly. You might accidentally have like an extra box highlighted that you shouldn't have. So you're just going to want to delete this graph and then redo it. You do not have to change anything in the graph. What it is perfect, so you're done. And then you can move on to the second graph. So I'm just going to resize it, move it over here so I can still see my data. Again, and I'll just show you, if you feel like you're comfortable making the graphs, go ahead and move on. You can stop watching this video. I'm going to, again, show you how to do the second graph. So our second graph is for altitude and pressure. So again, I'm only going to be highlighting the altitude column and the pressure column. So I'm going to hold down my control key, highlight the altitude column and the pressure column, insert, chart, and again, it should automatically generate my line graph, which again, you don't need to make any adjustments or changes to. It should be good the way it is.